everyone, my name is Kiki, and this is Stillwater. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, it's a detective game? Or something? I don't remember. It's free on Itch.io and Steam. I'm playing it on Steam. I believe it's on Itch.io. I think that's where I found it first. Anyway, whatever. I believe there's 4 endings and an epilogue. An epilogue to the canonical ending, I want to say? I don't know. Let's start. Ooh. Horror, mature themes, violence, and strong language. My types of shenanigans. Oh, it doesn't have voice acting. Okay. I'm sorry, but I can't stay here anymore, Nina. I feel like I'm going crazy. Calm down. If we can just talk it out. So many strange things keep happening one after another. Every day there's this damn dripping sound. I thought it was just something leaking at first, but I checked every faucet, every ceiling, everything, and still I hear it everywhere, constantly echoing in my ears. Please listen to me. Oh, but the water, the damn water, that damn water. Water? Yes, it's everywhere, pools of it all over the house, and every time I try to mop it all up, another will appear. There's no end to it. Oh, but it's at night. It's all night when it comes. What are you talking about? Hang on. I have a tea burp. Pardon? That's really ruining the mood. I hear someone or something walking along the hallways at night. Maybe it's just my grandfather? No, Nina, it's not him. I thought it was, but it's not. But I've seen it. That thing. I only glimpsed at it once, but I'm more than certain that thing was not your grandfather. Ever since that night, I would lock my door and pray it would walk past my room. I don't know what's going on, but I swear it just keeps walking, always walking on pools of water. Is this some, like, Cthulhu shit? Sometimes I hear them randomly. Their steps are erratic and faint, or is this like some doom sandworm shit? That's a reference. But I can still hear them. Just this steady pace up and down the halls. But I think recently, it's no longer like that. What do you mean? Every morning, I follow to see where the wet footsteps lead. Walks towards something more clearly than before. It would walk down the halls, climb the stairs, and turn corners. All of it, I'd follow. Eventually, the trail would come to a stop. And it would all stop right by your grandfather's room. His room? If this is some sick joke to scare me away, then please stop. It's not a joke, Nina. I meant when I said that there is something wicked going on in this house. That can't be true. I know this is a lot, but you have to believe me. Can't stay here any longer. I'm sorry, Nina. It's okay, I understand. Thank you for taking care of my grandfather up until now, and I'm sorry for all the stress I've caused you. I'll be sure to pay you right away as soon as I can. Nina, listen to me. I don't know what's going on around here, but... The phone cautiously looks around, turning her head constantly back and forth, looking over her shoulder to find, if any, others listening in. She grips the phone so close to her ear in a vice-like grip, before speaking again in a hushed tone. Something terrible is lurking in this house. I don't know what it is, but please, as soon as you get back, take your grandfather and just leave this place. What? Leave! I can't just leave everything behind. We have nowhere else to go. That was the wrong voice. Please, Nina, this place is not safe. The rumors, they're true. The curse is real. My family is not cursed. But Nina, at this rate, you and your family will. Enough. A pause. Cold and sharp tenses strain the call as both women, exhausted and stressed beyond their comfort, try to stifle their growing frustrations toward one another. Neither yielding to the other's thoughts, only leaving anger and hurt to fester through the silence. After what feels like a suffocating stillness, Nina finally sighs heavily and responds bluntly to the caretaker. Look, I don't know what you heard or saw, but I can't just leave things like this. Whatever they are, they will answer to me. I won't let them have their way. I don't have time wasting my energy on this stupid curse. So if you can't help me, then so be it. I'll find a way. Nina, my grandfather is all I have left. He is all I have left. Diner. 7 a.m. Or dinner. No diner. Amid a fine... I can read. Amid a foggy morning, there sits a man by the corner of a booth. He drinks black coffee, and depending on his mood, occasionally orders a donut. And today, it was just black. Ugh. I swear I've seen that amount of paperwork. I've never seen that amount of paperwork in my life. I'm reading a mountain worth of it. You're a valuable member of our team, Hugo. My foot. I'm starting to believe that I'm bamboozled into joining their agency. Huh. Hugo Laurent, age 30, takes a look at his cup of joe and chugs it all in one sitting. He then continues to grumble to himself about last night's grueling work at the office. I really need to find a different job. As he contemplates his poor life choices, he looks out towards the early mist. Am I going to need to take notes during this? There was something inherently terrifying about the fog to him, how it engulfs everything and nothing. Even if it disappears, it always leaves behind traces. Proof of it remaining. Even if in a quaint town like this, I can't even run away from my fate, I guess. It's supposed to be a 30-year-old? Where are the... Oh, I guess those shadows are supposed to be bags. Should be more bags. I had a lot of bags at 30. I'm 40 now. Whee! Hugo finally stares at the compiled newspaper clippings he put together. That is a mess. Some of the things from recent events, but mainly all were past headlines of missing person cases. No matter how many times I see this, it's still just hard to look at. Fixating on cases, he can't help but remind himself that there are reasons for all of this. All too personal reasons. Seeing strange things come with a price. In the end, I'm the one doing this to myself. Thank you for the pronunciation guide. Ooh, boy. This is gonna be fun. Sounds rough. Mind if I join you, Kuya? An annoying, familiar voice interrupts his train of thought. He slowly looks up to see one responsible, although reluctantly. Good morning, Hugo. Hugo scowls and turns away from him. I am loving the faces. He then gathers the files and shoves it back into the binder. Meanwhile, the tall man takes this as an initiative and sits at the opposite end of the booth. He greets the waitress passing by and orders himself the hefty body breakfast special with an extra plate. As usual, the waitress is happy to oblige and goes back to the counter to relay his order. The man then looks back at Hugo. Strapping young lad. And sees the empty cup and the now jumbled newspaper clippings. All the while, Hugo is trying to ignore him. You should really eat something with that black coffee. Not ordering any donuts today? I'm fine, Noah. I'm just not in the mood, okay? Not even a little. There's a momentary silence between them before Noah disturbs it once more. Well, too bad for you. I ordered a big breakfast for 2 of us. 2? Oh, that looks delicious. As if the world could grace Noah with even more perfect punchline, the food arrives. Why the hell did you order for the 2 of us? Just eat what you want to eat. Don't worry about me. Oh no. I'm gonna butcher that. Wow, Makung Masarup? Right, Hugo? Are you even listening to me? Come on. We both know that if you don't eat now, who knows when you will. And I'm not about to let you faint again. So open wide. Ugh. Noah De Leon, age 27, a natural born charmer, is also the only person in the world who lovingly threatens him to eat every day. With a pensive look, Hugo finally gives in and eats the generous spoonful without further complaints. It's good. Right? Good food will always help you cheer up. Damn him, I got swept away again. Oh, by the way, the chief will be out for a business trip. She mentioned it would be for a couple of days. So the chief's a woman. When did she tell you this? I didn't hear anything about it. Yesterday, I think? Yesterday? She told me to sort out the cabinets yesterday. She didn't mention anything about a business trip. I guess it was a pretty sudden one. Well, I mean, she did tell me to tell you. And lucky me, I know where you go every morning. You know what? I'm not surprised anymore. Well, what do you want me to do? We technically have the day off. I'm gonna head back to the office. There's a couple of boxes I didn't get a chance to sort out. In that case, I'll come with you. Why? You could just rest for the day. And pass up this opportunity to get to know you better, Kuya. Is it Kuya or Kaya? It was a C. Quit it. Whatever. After their enlightening banter, the 2 of them finish their breakfast, pay for their meals, and head to Hugo's car. As Noah opens the door to the passenger seat, he notices a bloodhound sleeping inside. Look at the puppy! The puppy, 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 puppy. The big dog stirs at the sound of the car opening and lazily stares at Noah. Oh, I'm sorry, big guy. He then closes the door while trying to make too much noise to disturb its occupant. Colby. At the sound of his name, his heavy lids opens. Oh my god. Lidded eyes slowly peek to see who calls for him. It is his one and only partner, his human. As if finally realizing he is, or who he is, where he is, the old bloodhound stirs up from his sleep, bounces at Hugo, and proceeds to wag his tail uncontrollably. Good morning again, Colby. Had a nice nap? Colby, 8 years old, Hugo's most faithful and loving partner in crime, has the biggest tendency to just sleep all over the place. Noah, who is witness all of this from the back seat, chuckles to himself. He is amazed and slightly defeated at Hugo's sudden surge of energy. Huh, doesn't matter how many times I try. When it comes to boosting up his moves, nobody can beat Colby. What a good dog. Agency, 7:50 a.m. The 3 head back to the office. The space is just the same as Hugo left it. A bit messy, but alright. A decent, organized mess. Yeah. To his credit, from the amount of bosses he's painstakingly went through, he believes he did a fair job. Albeit it could have been better. Wow, you really outdid yourself, Hugo. It looks less crowded. Ah, shut it, will you? Said I was going to get to it. Thanks, boy. Before Hugo could continue to give deserved head pats, he notices someone. A woman stands timidly peering outside from the storefront. She looks a bit frantic and even more restless with her disheveled and ill-fitted clothes, drawing emphasis to her already too visible petite frame. The woman tries to grasp the door handle several times, but stops before she could touch it. Her brow furrows, agitated and distressed about something. So much to the point it is preventing her from just simply reaching out for help. However, when she finally makes eye contact with Hugo, she immediately rushes in. I'm sorry. I know that the close sign is up, but I saw you come in and Are you alright, miss? I need your help. My grandfather, Before she can continue explaining, Noah swiftly cuts in front of Hugo and intervenes. An all too practiced manner. It's okay, miss. We'll hear what you have to say. So please, why don't you sit right over there? Noah gestures to one of the empty seats on the other side of the office. Poor woman hesitates for a moment. She clutches desperately to the strap of her purse, her eyes focusing apprehensively on them and the gestured seat. After mulling Noah's offer, she quizzically glances back and nods. The woman then walks towards the corner of the room and sits at the edge of the sofa. Is that Nina? Her posture is wary and tense, giving no sign of comfort for even a brief moment of peace. Can you start off by telling us your name? I apologize for earlier. I'm usually a bit more composed than this, but I guess I'm failing at that too. My name is Nia Mortimer. Mortimer. Hello, Miss Nina. My name is Noah de Leon. I'm one of the assistants here. The big guy next to you is our other lovely assistant, Colby. The other one brooding over there is Private Investigator Hugo Laurent. I am not brooding, I'm just tired. Our chief is away on business, but I think we can still accommodate you. So how can we help you, Miss Nina? Oh, poor thing looks so haggard. I just noticed now, they blink. I didn't notice that before. They blink, that's nice. This is a free game, if I didn't mention that before. I think I did. Did I? Whatever. For just a moment, Nina appeared a bit more lax, more hopeful, and even relieved for this warm welcome. However, she once again tenses up, the guilt or shame come rushing back to her, visible by the creases of her brow, as she once again realizes why she is here. I need help watching over my grandfather tonight. Tonight? Yes, I know this is a strange request, but my hands are tied on this. It has to be tonight. I'm sorry, miss. I don't quite understand. Is your grandfather in any danger? I think someone is trying to take him away. Take him? Miss Nina, I think you should contact the police right away. They are far more equipped in handling this kind of situation. No, they're not. I've tried requesting their help, but they've given me the same answer verbatim for weeks now. They would send someone out to watch over the man for the entire day, but by the end of their routine, they would always report back nothing unusual. They saw no one else leaving or arriving in the house other than me or the caretaker. Despite telling them all in detail about the letters and all the strange things that have been happening, there's nothing they can do about it, and just sit around until it escalates even more. I can't wait any longer. Any more of this and I'll be too late. If only I knew who Lewis was. Lewis? She lets out a gasp. Her hand shot out to cover her mouth, realizing she had too much. She had said too much, so carelessly. She tries to avert their gaze, but Hugo stares persistently at her. Messina, who is Lewis? Are they the ones causing all this? Once more she contemplates. Her brow knits closely together as she bites her lip nervously. It's as if the words she wanted to say are suddenly died out, too heavy to even utter. A mistake she can't take back. With her, the silence stretches further. Noah speaks to Nina with a gentle and reassuring tone. Miss Nina, I know it's scary. All the things you've mentioned to us so far, no one should ever have to experience, especially by themselves. I assure you we'll listen to all of it. I promise. Wild and manic eyes search deeply at them, trying desperately to discern any amount of or mistrust on their faces. However, all she sees are people who are willing to give their time and simply listen to her, to actually help her. From this alone, Nina looks to the side where her purse is and opens it. Tucked inside one of the pockets, she takes out a single slightly crumpled envelope with a pigmented red wax seal. Okay, fancy. Pressed in the middle. At a glance, Hugo can tell right away that this letter appears to be a bit more worn out and antique. And yet, despite its delicate form, it remains well preserved, well kept. As if the letter itself was untouched by time forever waiting to be opened. Grandfather has been receiving cryptic letters for a past month now. Letters didn't come with an address or a name of the sender. But this one is different from the rest. It said the name Lewis on it. Luis. As she hands over the letter, Hugo notices her hand slightly shaking. Nina is still avoiding his gaze, but he knows she's trying in earnest. Before he can reach out his hand, he senses it. Faint shift in the room, unnoticeable to the others, but all too clear to him. There's something very wrong with this letter. Suddenly, Hugo recoils his hand away in pain, like being stuck with something sharp so spontaneously, so memorably that even if the pain disappears within seconds, a hint of it remains. Something so small akin to a prick from a rose thorn. Or more like a paper cut. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. No, I'm fine, Miss Mortimer. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Hugo stares squarely at the cut. A thin red line starts to form slowly on the top of his index finger, curling down and stopping just above the first crease. A red so clearly visible, it's taunting. Nope. That doesn't look like a normal paper cut to me. Let me get you a band-aid. It's fine, Noah. I don't need one. But, really, it's fine. It doesn't even hurt that much. Noah takes a good look at him before sighing exasperatedly. That was closer. And sitting back down in his chair, still eyeing on Hugo's hand. Hugo shrugs and returns his attention back to the letter, but this time, luckily, nothing happens. For it to reach all the way here, just a letter alone, is truly terrifying. Carefully, he removes the contents of the envelope and unfolds it. At first, it looks like any other normal written message. A person named Lewis, is asking the other, Henry, to come meet him by the lake at midnight. Needing to share something important with him. However, what's eerily striking about this is not the letter itself, Here at the bottom of the page, message scrawled, unlike the rest, stands visibly out to Hugo. Message that shouldn't be there.
Remember our promise, Henry.
When did you receive this letter? Yesterday. And your grandfather, where is he right now? He's currently back at the house with the caretaker. I promised them I wouldn't be gone out too long. I made an agreement with them, you see. Oh, what sort of agreement? The caretaker has now agreed to watch over my grandfather, but only during the day. Before nightfall, they would leave exactly at the same time. Before nightfall? I wanted to believe that this whole thing was an elaborate scheme to scare my family away. I know this sounds crazy, but at one point, I thought everyone was in on it. The mail carriers, the officers, the caretakers. Everyone had a hand in making our family suffer. But this one was different. Up until now, I had never heard of anyone by that name. Not a relative or a family friend. But they clearly know who my grandfather is. If I don't do something about this, I'll lose him too. Just uttering those words alone, Nina begins to break down. The stress, the anxiety, the fatigue, all of this is finally catching up to her. Her body hunches forward, her hands press close to her eyes as she tries to cover the streams of tears running down her face. As an act of comfort, Colby sits closer to Nina while Noah fetches tissues for her. Hugo, on the other hand, is puzzled. She said the whole thing was been going over the past month, but something doesn't add up. And before nightfall, I think there's more to this than she's not admitting. Whatever happened with this letter, I am more than certain. Certain that whoever or whatever Lewis is, they're coming back for blood. There wouldn't be much point in playing the game if I didn't take the case. Do you want more tissues? We'll do it. We'll take the case. For a moment, everything goes still. Oh, my hands, sorry. Their eyes and attention are slowly directed at Hugo, whose eyes have certain glint to them, now unwavering and more determined than ever. Before anyone else speaks, Nina stands up, wipes away any stray tears from her face, and walks up to him. You'll take it? Hugo simply nods, while not looking at her. Thank you! Thank you! You don't know how much this means to me. We're glad to help, Miss. Nina, please just call me Nina. Well, Nina, we'll do our best. Nina smiles at Hugo and Noah in gratitude, her eyes renewed with a faint gleam. I hope that maybe things will change for her and her family for the better. However, before heading out, Nina reaches into her bag once more. She takes out a small piece of paper and a pen and hastily starts jotting down something. Church Street, of course. I best be on my way now. I'll let grandfather know ahead of time you'll be coming. Also, this is my address. I'll be sure to greet you all when you arrive. And thank you again, truly. She politely bows to them and walks out of the office, already reaching into her purse for her car keys. Hugo watches from his desk as she goes to open the driver's seat. He looks back to the office window and takes one last look at Hugo. She waves slightly at him before finally pulling out of the parking lot and driving off. Pardon? Another keeper? Perfect timing. Once out of sight, Hugo turns to look at his cluttered desk. Still messy, but presentable. I guess I'll have to sort this out later again. Car, 5:30 p.m. Forgot I had to click. From the ongoing downpour to the quiet hums of the car, they sit in the silence. Still miles off of their destination, Hugo constantly checks the rearview mirror to see if any passing cars. There's only them on the road. Noah, who usually chats his ear off by now, leans quietly against the car door to look out to the passing streetlights, reserved and distant. He hasn't said a word to Hugo since they left the office. Hey, you're a lot quieter than usual. What's wrong? Huh? What a surprise! Have you been looking at me, Kuya? What language is that? No, you idiot. You usually just talk a lot is all. So, do you miss me talking? Just say it. Do you believe her story? What? Given all the things she told us, do you think she's telling the truth? Yes, I believe her. At least I believe that she hasn't lied to us. But you know, I can't shake this feeling that she's hiding something. Like if she left out certain details on purpose. Also, why did she have to travel this far out of town for private eye? Surely there must be another far closer to her home than ours. I just don't know how to explain it. As expected of you, Hugo. Are you making fun of me? No, not at all. I'm just admiring your observations. Didn't want to offend Nina earlier, so I kept quiet until she finished. But her last name caught me off guard. Huh? Have you heard of the Mortimers? They're a pretty distinguished family that own an esteemed fishing company. Well, they used to, I believe. They have yet to name an heir. What do you mean? Shouldn't it naturally go to Nina? It should, but I don't know. From what I heard, each time they name a successor, that relative mysteriously disappears. What? Gone without a trace, or so anyone thought. Their bodies would soon turn up months after. And you know what's strange? All of them have been labeled as accidents by local news. No foul play, just another unfortunate loss for the family. Been struck with so many tragedies that over time people began to believe they were cursed or something. Cursed? I think I can understand why she wouldn't go to the police again. They most likely thought she was just seeing things and went along with the procedure just to keep face. But deep down they must have thought she'd gone mad. I can't imagine all of this for Nina. And most of all, who knows what we'll find there? Is that why you decided to come with me? Well, partially. I'm more worried about you, though. Why me? The other way around. Me? Why? Think of it this way. I'm the appointed driver. When you decide to do pretty reckless shit, I'll be there to drive you to the local hospital. Ugh. Besides, two's better than one. Exactly. I was fine with Colby coming with me. Well, have you heard of three is better than two? My good doggo. Mortimer Estate, 6 p.m. Passing through countless dirt roads and steep cliffs, the estate can finally be seen beyond the evergreen. Nestled away from prying eyes, it stands tall, magnificent, and classic. Truly a rarity only afforded to the privileged. And yet, with all its opulence, it looms from the distance. Hugo and Noah could only gaze at the sheer scale of the manor. It's big. Its grand stature topples easily over the dozens of houses they drove past. Wow, look at the size of it. I can never imagine seeing a house like this in person. It's almost too surreal. Come on, she's waiting for us. Immediately after exiting the driver's seat, a sudden sharp pain weighs heavily on Hugo's chest. Grasping tightly on his coat, he begins to grasp for air. His vision haze as he leans close to the car, trying desperately to ground himself. Like a fish drawn out of the sea, he desperately heaves. The air in his lungs escaping too quickly burns as he feels his throat start to strain, drawing tighter the more he breathes. The pain pales in comparison to a feeling far more excruciating. Is it the house? No, something far more sinister. He feels it. Someone is watching him. Someone named Phantom. There's a cat in my face. A piercing gaze fixed on him. Oh, nope, cat. Okay, now I'm holding a cat. Like leering at a bug and waiting to strike.
We'll be together soon, Henry.
What the hell? Hang on, I'm really holding a cat. Just fixate on Hugo's angry face? Frustrated face? Damn it already. You need to hurry or else. Hey, are you alright? Noah calls out to him, snapping him out of his fixated stance. Kobe nudges his head against Hugo, whining with concern over his partner's well-being. Did you hear that just now? Hear what? That voice. So close to my ear, Is everything alright? Oh, I'm fine, don't mind me. I just bit winded out from the trip, that's all. I'd be happy to make you tea at the very least. If it's no trouble. No, none at all. It's the least I can do. Once again, the subtle uneasiness from Nina surfaces. But before Hugo could get a chance to look further into it, she walked off towards the front porch without saying another word. Are you sure you're alright? You sounded like you were choking earlier. I said I'm fine. Besides, we're already here. We can't go back out now. Listen to me. I think you should. Noah abruptly cuts his lecture short when he notices Nina stopping at the front door. She stops by the door silently, contemplating something. Just like before this time, she seems even more... It's just like before, but this time she seems even more anxious. Whatever unease she tries to mask earlier before more apparent this minute. To mask earlier became more apparent the minute they walked closer to the front door. I haven't been quite honest with you, Detective. Just like before, as if carefully choosing her words next, she decides that in this situation, words are not enough. You'll see for yourselves what I mean. And with that, Nina enters the house, leaving the three to follow behind. Hugo is about to enter through the foyer when he feels a tug on his arm. Don't forget what I told you. If something happens, let me know right away. You'll be the first to know. With that, Noah releases his grip on Hugo. They proceed to head in, not knowing what awaits them beyond the door. Greeted with a brightly lit hallway, Hugo notes immediately that the interior is just as grand. Adorned with floral accents and antique furnishing, the house itself exudes the word elegance. A classic and rustic charm, with the walls and flooring made of the finest wood. Hugo couldn't help but gape when he walked in. However, he noticed something even more distinct than the splendor. Behind the seemingly perfect veneer, an unsettling air rise throughout the house, leaving no room for doubt that the inside is far more terrifying than the outside. Please come this way. Bracing themselves, they enter the dimly lit drawing room. First glance, Hugo could not discern the silhouette situated at the far corner. Only the sparse lighting from the window piercing through a fraction of the room's darkness. However, as they approached closer to the silhouette, Hugo now understands the reason for Nina's unsettling vagueness. Grandfather, we have guests. Sitting on the armchair is a very young man, not much older than Hugo or Noah. He is dressed modestly and shares none of the imposing presence of the manor. No, rather, such luxury does not even remotely reflect on the man before them at all. What the fuck? It's as if the flow of time has stopped only for him, while the rest had continued changing drastically without him. Just like the letters, timeless. Awkward time to drink some tea, but I needed it. Delicate and jarringly out of place. Staring only at the window, the young man sits there dazed with little acknowledgement of the people around him. Still, motionless. Like a doll. Grandpa, these are the people I spoke of. This is Detective Laurent and his two assistants, Colby and Noah. Going to help us. Even after introducing them to the head of the Mortimer estate, Hugo and Noah could not help but feeling unnerved. The man before them is supposed to be a feral and older than any of them. And it here remains forever unchanging, forever young. They've come a long way, so I'll be making some tea. Would you like some, Grandpa? He does not reply back, nor does he glance at Nina or anyone else in the room. Only fixate his gaze on the rain, nothing else. I'll be sure to make a cup for you then. She then timidly gestures to Hugo and Noah back to the foyer. Bearing more questions, the two follow Nina outside. But before they leave the drawing room, Hugo takes one last look at the young man. There is an all too familiar air about Henry Mortimer. His eyes, they're similar to his own. Whatever he must be longing for, Hugo knows it will never end well. Nina, that man. Yes, he is my grandfather, the one I asked you all to watch over. I know this is hard to believe, but Nina draws something out of her pocket. In an old picture was a handsome man with slick back hair, wearing the finest of suits. The gentleman in the picture has a different air to him, one of wealth and power, none of which reflects all of the current Henry Mortimer. It's almost as if we're looking at two different people. This isn't much to go by, but believe me, they are the same person. Then why does he look so young? It happened a few nights ago. I was on my way to get a cup of water when I heard a loud thud coming from my grandfather's room. I was worried that something fell over, so I went to go check. When I opened the door, I found him collapsed on the ground. I rushed to go help him, but when I did, he looked so different. He wore the same clothes that my grandfather wore that night. And his face, I recognized his face. He looked younger. So many things were rushing through my head at that moment, and yet I knew he felt familiar to me. I know it sounds bizarre, the more I talk about it, but that's what happened. That was also the same night I found that letter. It was next to him, already opened. I'm sorry again for all this. No matter who I went to, they either said something was wrong with me or my family. With everything going on, maybe they're right. The pools of water, the letter, Lewis, and now this. I've been ignoring the signs for years and just blindly hoping things can get better if I try finding solutions on my own. But that's not enough anymore. Maybe my family really is cursed. No, they're not. Curses aren't real. Detective? I think we usually get too involved in believing that sort of things exist. In truth, the ones who fixate on it make it their reality. Rumors, doubts, lies, all those things that things are what they want to become real. Deep-rooted emotions like that can't possibly be healed or fixed right away. But like a curse, those emotions drag other people down with them. Personally, I think you were caught up in all this. But I assure you, we'll see this through. For you and Mr. Mortimer. Thank you. Good. For now, our first priority is to find out more about Lewis. You know, the letter you showed us back in the agency. Do you have it with you? Ah, yes, here it is. Do you mind if I borrow it for a bit? I'll be sure to give it back. Of course, but what are you going to do with it? I've searched everything on the letter and I couldn't come up with any clues. I'll be using it as a reference, or a guide, if you will. I'm afraid I can't discuss too much of the process, trade secret and all. Ah, of course. I'll go check upstairs. Noah and Kobe check the ground floor. Got it. Before they leave to do their investigation, Hugo grabs a hold of Noah's shoulder. He leans in close enough for Nina not to hear. Keep a close eye on Mortimer and Nina. Especially Nina. I don't want her dragged any more than she already is. So whatever happens, keep her safe. Hugo, you... Fine, but remember to yell for me, okay? I know. Thank you, Noah. I'm counting on you. Oh, they're adorable. You too, boy. With a final nod at them, Hugo then goes towards the staircase and heads upstairs. Noah stares at them for a moment longer. Noah stares for a moment longer at Hugo's back before he disappears into the first floor. He then turns to look at Kobe. Well, it's time for us to get to work. Right, Kobe? Oh, I'm doing stuff? The object is to look around the area for objects to receive the story. Use the arrow keys area to move around to a different area. Clickable objects. The right top of the hint button. Blah, blah, blah. So he's just... Mr. Mortimer still sits motionless by the corner of the room, his gaze never leaving the rain. Ruff, ruff. A large bookshelf stands close to the entranceway. It contains a couple of photos and a few phone books. A delicate arrangement of violets and white roses. They seem to be fresh and fairly new. An old rotary dial phone. It looks like it's still in good use. What time period is this? Just double checking. Oop. Frames decorated the walls are covered in white sheets, veiled with a thin lining of dust on top of each one. Wow, there's so many paintings covering the walls. There are more like these all over the house? Yes, my grandfather commissioned many back in the day. But sadly, he doesn't do that anymore. Yeah, I can't help but notice these paintings are covered. How come? I did that. I covered them up for my grandfather's sake. For his sake? Yes, he was pretty obsessed with them, you see. There were times when he would mutter to himself and he would just stare at the paintings for days on end. I was worried so much I had them all covered. Since then, he hasn't stared at any of them. He just sits quietly and looks outside. I see. Other bikinis, I noticed they all have a similar theme. They all had water in them. I know it isn't a coincidence since you've told us before, but if there's anything you know, anything at all, then please tell us. No, can I ask you a question first? Sure, go ahead. Do you believe in mermaids? Oh, it's that kind. Mermaids? I don't suppose I do. Why? Uh-oh. Casting her gaze to the floor, Nina anxiously fidgets and tightly clasps her hands together. She then briefly sighs and continues. Well, there's this story, or rather more like a fairy tale that my family has passed down. A fairy tale? And yes, well, this one, it feels like one to me. It's about a fisherman who fell in love with a mermaid. Every day and night he would go out by the shore to gaze at her beauty, but one day she vanished, leaving him confused and heartbroken. Determined, he would sail many seas for a chance to see her again. Sailing from coast to coast, new lands beyond and back, he would go. Not long after, fortune followed him all throughout his journey, and made him one of the wealthiest and most highly respected men in his village. However, despite all his wealth he gained through his travels, he never found the mermaid again. It will only be a dream, nothing more. And that's the end of the story. It doesn't inamply, but I guess there's a lesson behind all that. I just never understood it. What do you think happened to the mermaid? I know it's an exaggeration, and yet I can't help but wonder. It's hard to say. I just feel bad for both of them. To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of sad endings. If it were me, I would wish for the fisherman and the mermaid could see each other again. Or at least, that's what I think. Even if they weren't meant to be with each other? Yeah, I think so at least. I wouldn't want to imagine going through a journey all by myself. It's hard being alone. A journey all by yourself. Is Nina the mermaid? Mortimer Estate, 11:30. After searching vigorously through each of the rooms, he knew his findings would eventually lead him here. This is it. Hugo walked towards the nearest lampshade and switched it on. Dimly illuminated, he sees the extent of how lavish this part of the house is. From the custom-sized window drapes to the vintage furnishings, everything here exudes that extravagance. But much like the interior Hugo had seen this far, he finds this one in particular reeks of it. Plastered from wall to wall, a gloom lingers. It's as if the room itself is moldering, despite its preserved nature. A classic wooden chest lies at the floor of the canopy. Its locked still firmly holds, safeguarding whatever it's inside. Scattered pieces of paper, all forgotten, lie awaiting on the cold floor. Heavily etched markings all scrawled all over the papers. An old picture of a lost time, a sweet summertime memory of a little girl with her beloved grandfather. Aww. On the top of a fireplace, unblemished and unmarked by time, hangs a curious and familiar painting of a beautiful woman floating on water. Was that footsteps? A meticulous, organized section of academic books ranging from non-fiction to geography are on display. However, hidden away behind the vast collection are some children's fairy tale, all carefully kept. Tea. A pristine pearl-white tea set patiently by, untouched and unused for quite some time. leather-bound journal rests on the edge of the table. Its pages are torn out so haphazardly that the binding itself is starting to fall out. I need to hurry. I don't want to stay here for too long. Mortimer Estate, 11:50 p.m. He searches and searches and still no sign of Lewis. Even if there is a fragment, a single thread to that person, to their real selves, he could find them. But there is nothing. Not a thing pertaining to him. It's as if the thought of Lewis barely exists at all. What is going on? I clearly sense that presence from him, but it's gone again. Damn it, I wish I had more time. No, calm down. It has to be here. Just need to focus. He ponders again, retracing every step and every little detail, hoping that he overlooks something. Yet all he knows is that one tangible thing that connects him, that tethers so closely to the space, and most of all to Henry, is that letter. Words of promise, of love, all delicately etched on the page, but tainted with a powerful and dark emotion that has been festering for too long. Tainted? From the very start of all this, Hugo believed that whoever Lewis was, they were the ones responsible. He thought he could find them and convince them to stop their haunting for good, bring them peace and to move on. However, that isn't the case anymore. The unnatural that binds everyone so closely together in this family is not the cause of the angry spirit. No, it seems something far more devious than that. As he takes the letter out from the envelope, he notices a change within. Bearing no foreboding threat at the bottom of the page, it looks just like a letter, or rather, what it once was, a sad and tragic love.
If you can't come, then I understand. Things have gotten more complicated with your mother ever since she found out about us, right? I'm sorry, Henry, for everything. It hurts to see you so torn up like this. I would never hurt you or drag you with me. If this is to be our farewell, then can I ask you one last favor? Could you keep my locket? I know this is selfish of me, but I'd like for you to have it. I'd be happy to know it's safe with you. My heart will forever be yours, Henry. With love always, Louise.
So this was the true letter? A small warmth emanates from the paper, wrapping closely around his finger, quiet and soothing. The fragment Hugo was searching for. Lewis, I'm sorry. You were also a victim in all this too. Please, if you can hear me, I need your help. Without warning, the sound of a click can be heard from across the bedroom, as if something unlocked itself. Hugo turns his head towards the sound and sees the chest. Like the other furniture, its dark rusted features are not maintained well, left to rot on its own. Suddenly he stops at the sound of a sweet voice whispering to him, beckoning him towards the fireplace. Come here, my sweet boy. Don't go towards the painting. No, stay focused, Hugo. Won't let it get to me. Preparing himself, he heads towards the chest and opens it. Inside, scrambled together, are bunches of notebooks and small trinkets. Hugo continues to rummage through what he stumbles across an old newspaper article. Young men found dead by the lake. An unidentified young man was found this morning of that time, 3 days prior to his death, according to the police. Ruled as a suicide, police have claimed the troubled young youth drowned himself. This certainly is a tragic loss, the unfortunate incident indeed. Comments. No claim on his body has yet been made. Oops. By the corner of Hugo's eye, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the clutter. He reaches for it. A locket of bright gold shines unblemished, retaining a timeless luster. Inside it safeguards a picture of a young man with glasses smiling brightly. This must be the locket he was talking about. It's so pretty. I'm surprised it still shines like this. In this picture. Did he put this here? No, it must have been Henry. Why did he store it away like this? What should I do? I should probably hold on to this for now. Take it to him, please. Lewis? A gentle but distant plea echoes in Hugo's heart. A forgotten ache of yearning and regret grips him deeply. Feelings none of his own start to rise like a small ripple on a pond, wanting to be found again and remembered. Don't worry, I'll bring it to him. I'll make sure of it. Hugo is about to put everything back into the chest when he feels like a wet and cold sensation crawling up his leg. What? Water? A pool of water relentlessly spreads across the floor, already seeping into his chest. Damn it, no! Suddenly the light shut off. A scream is heard by a myriad of shouts. Hugo is about to call out to Noah, but stops at the sight of pale feet before him. Looming over him stands a tall and ominous figure. His face is shrouded in complete darkness, devoid of any human emotion. It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows it's far from it. No, this very thing is trying to imitate a human form. Trying to be human. Hugo can only stare back. Paralyzed with fear, he is forced to watch in horror as it slowly creeps towards him. It's just like before, the sensation of someone staring at him from within. This time, it's drawing nearer, etching ever so closely. The words to call out to Kobe and Noah fail to reach out. Watching his throat, he struggles in pain. With his breathing shallow, he tries to force his body to move. And then it stops. Looking down at Hugo, filled with nothing but malice and contempt, it speaks.
Don't get in my way.
All of a sudden, the door to the bedroom slams shut and the entity disappears. The tension from his body finally releases his agonizing grip, and he grasps desperately for air. His vision blurs and his breathing is haggard. He staggers towards the door. He rings at the door several times, but it is tightly jammed. Fuck! Noah, Colby! To his dismay, he's only greeted with silence at the other end of the door. Damn it! From a distance, he faintly hears the sound of Colby's relentless barking as it gets further away from the house. Hugo rushes towards the window. He tries to pry it open, but like the door, a heavy force prevents him from doing so. Like being underwater. His movement is slow and drawn out. As if it's being dragged down by that thing. Fuck this. Frantically looking around the room, he spots a nearby chair. Is it that chair, the fancy one? And then a moment sooner, he grabs the chair and starts to strike the window. Bit by bit, the window cracks, gets larger with each blow, splitting off smaller pieces. The hell is this thing made out of? Probably lead. Still trying to catch his breath. He musters all the strength he has left for a final blow. Damn, you just break already! Clearing out the remaining shards of glass, Hugo peers his head out to see the rain see any railing he grasped hold of. However, he discovers instead the wall adjacent is covered in ivy. Despite how heavy the rain has drastically become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of vines. Carefully, he climbs out the window, grabbing tightly and making sure he doesn't lose his footing. Yet to his left, the patch of vine he clutches starts to tear away from the wall. So out of desperation, he struggles to find his grasp on another, but fails when his hand slips out of reach. Yep! Clamoring wildly as he loses his grip on the wild ivy, he crashes lands down on a thicket of bushes. Air forced out of him, he heaves uncontrollably, trying to even out his breathing. But even that is laborious. An intense pain spreads across not only his back, but his entire body. God, I'm getting too old for this. With all his body screams out in pain, he forces himself up. There is still time. I can do this. I have to do this. With staggering feet and haggard breathing, he makes his way to the place where it all started. The lake where the tragedy starts and ends. Lake? Time? Finally entering through the park, Hugo calls out to Kobe and Noah. Kobe, Noah, where are you? He hears faintly the sounds of barking, echoes of people yelling in the distance. He rushes towards the echoes, guiding him through the downpour. With his heart racing and blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. Drawing closer, he sees Nina giving chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she doesn't get too far as Noah stops her. Grandpa, stop! Grandpa! Let me go, Grandpa! No, Nina, it's dangerous. You'll get hurt, too. I don't care. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. And at that instant, Hugo trudges against the water, pursuing in Nina's stead. Hugo? No, don't! Please fall deaf to his ears. Not even the winds and worried cries of his partners can make him turn back. Determined, he forges ahead. Nearing the deep end of the lake, he sees Henry Mortimer gazing directly at the abyss. Looks even more frail and disheveled than before. It's as if the life he lived up to this point has begun to fray, draining every ounce of himself, and surrendering it all to the lake. Before Henry could lean in, he reaches out and tugs at his arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me! Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please come back to the shore with me. Motionless and unresponsive, he stares deeply into the water. The haze over his eyes is still obscure and persistent. There are so many things we can't afford to lose in our lives, and you're one of them. To Nina, you're all she has left. She needs you, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it. A slight jolt from Henry's arm, as if stirred by the mention of Nina. He slowly turns to face Hugo. Nina? However, just as cruel and violent as the storm, Henry jerks back, pushing his arm away from Hugo's hold on him. No, all of this is my fault. If only I got to Louis sooner, then none of this would happen. He was waiting for me, was patient with me, and yet for all the things he's done, I chose my family over him. He's gone because I didn't pick him. Henry backs further away from the shoreline. Mr. Mortimer! His manic eyes never stray away from Hugo as he keeps his distance from him. Louis, I'm sorry. Louis, I'm sorry. I keep wanting to say Louis. I was the one who dragged you into this. You deserve so much better. Ah, no, not quite. What? And I wished He struggled with his words. He clasped tightly to his shirt, his throat dry and taut from all that he has bottled up, from all those repressed and silent years of just waiting for the curse to finally take him. I wish I'd gone with you that night, Lewis. Sir, even if you still covet that wish, it wouldn't resolve anything. Not for you or Lewis. I read what he wrote to you all those years ago. He understood that if you didn't want to come see him. The thing is, Mr. Mortimer, Lewis never thought any less of you. He said so in those letters to you. His letters? For the longest time, I wanted to believe he hated me for that, resented me for that choice. Or at least I thought it was easier for me to think that way. How long has it been since I talked about him? It's been too long, sir. But that's why you shouldn't have to shoulder all that pain by yourself anymore. You can talk about it. About you and Lewis. All of it together. Hugo extends not only his hand, but a promise. A promise that Henry had yearned for so long. Waited to forgive himself. He hesitates at first. Oh, his eyes finally changed. But Fool believes in deserved forgiveness. So this thing doesn't exist. And yet, despite everything, Hugo still reaches out to him. To a stranger. Maybe he can forgive. Just as he was about to reach out for Hugo, a hand slid around Henry instead. His arms suddenly unnaturally contort around him, while its head perches on his shoulder. The thing. This Lewis is no longer pretending to be human. With piercing cold green eyes, it glares directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing him, wishing nothing but despair.
We can be saved. We can be forgiven. This is only one true way out of this. I will share with you the most happiness of endings.
Before Hugo can reach out for Henry's hand, he disappeared into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing the English pilot's desperate pleas, Hugo dives in after him, into the abyss. Reality? Time? What is it? Plunging into icy waters, Hugo feels shocks running rampant throughout his body, like spikes continuously piercing through his legs to the tips of his fingers, fiercely and unyielding. His chest tightens and his heart races as he begins to kick his legs, hoping whichever way he goes, he'll find his way to Henry. Swimming deeper and deeper in, he sees faintly a figure slowly descending into darkness. And finally, he gets closer to Henry. Long snake-like arms stretch across the void and grab Hugo's neck, squeezing tightly all the air out from him. Tries desperately to reach his hands away. But with each strangler, Hugo's movements begin to weigh heavier and heavier. He should have taken off that jacket.
Luis, where are you, Lewis?
He's looking for Lewis. Digging deep into his coat pocket, he grasps tightly in his hand the locket that Henry kept and had long forgotten. Holding out, it shines ever so brightly in the dark.
Ah, there you are.
It releases Hugo and instead reaches out for the locket. Taking this chance, he drops the chain and kicks with all his might and grabs Henry's arm. With his heart and body screaming in pain, he swims stressfully to the surface. Almost there. I just have to. The lights from the surface begin to blur. Hugo makes one last attempt to reach it. With all his limbs worn out and his energy spent, this is all he can do. Before he loses consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards them, getting closer and closer. And then everything fades to black. Again, reality time. What are they? Perception. Drifting along what feel like an endless sea, Hugo courses through wave after wave, not knowing where he's going or caring for that matter. All he knows is he's very, very tired. How long has it been since he had a good night's rest? Oh, it's been too long. Maybe I should take a rest now. I'd like that so much. I agree that you deserve it, but not here. I'm sorry for startling you. I just wanted to see you one last time before I go. Us? You've done so much for me and Henry. I can't thank you enough. No worries. I want to thank you for watching me. I want to thank you too for watching over me. And also, I want to apologize for my remarks from before. I really thought I had things figured out for once I found you, but you know, I had that turned out. You know how that turned out for me. It's alright, really. After all this time, I didn't think anyone could hear me. Especially Henry. Lewis. I was worried about him for a long time. He always wanted to keep me away from his personal struggles. Keep me safe from them. But I was too stubborn for my own good. Honestly, I don't regret it. Any of it. Even if I could no longer reach out to Henry. Fate waved a thread back to you, our tangent connecting us once more to this very moment. And for that, I am forever grateful to you, Hugo. You're welcome, Lewis. In far-off distance, Hugo can hear a voice crying out to him, beckoning for him to return. Oh, they're waiting for you. Guess they really are, huh? Take care always, Hugo. You too, Lewis. Blake? Time? With his eyes closed and his sense returning, he feels the constant tug and lick of a certain bloodhound, whining as he tries to wake up his partner. Hugo! He also hears another familiar voice, too annoyingly close for comfort. Eyes shot right open, he jerks up. Confused, Hugo looks around before he coughs up the remaining water in his lungs. Are you alright? Noah starts to pat his back while Kobe continues to whine over Hugo. What happened? Where's Mortimer? He's safe, so is Nina. They're both okay. Police and the ambulance should be arriving soon. Thank goodness. Isn't there more you have to say to me? Instead of thank goodness. I swear you don't listen to a damn word I say. I'm sorry, Noah. Exactly, Phantom. Exhausted, he lets out a sigh, and then continues to pat Hugo's back aggressively when someone approaches them. Detective Laurent? Oh, Nina. There's someone I want you to meet. Behind her stands an elderly man. Frail in stature, he timidly looks to the side pensively as he ponders to himself. Though in his youth has long faded, his eyes are what catches Hugo's attention. They're no longer as piercing and viciously green. Only eyes just like Nina's. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective. I never got a chance to say goodbye to him. I always thought about it every day. What if Lewis lived alone in this world? What if he stayed a little longer with me? It's because of that constant mindset I dragged everyone down. It kept hurting not only me, but Nina especially. I was the one who kept hurting her. The one to blame for all this. But you, someone that I've never met, still went out of the way to save me. Not knowing my befalls. Thank you. Hugo reaches out to Henry and smiles at him brightly. It's my pleasure, sir. Before you let go, but before he lets go, Henry tugs at Hugo's hand one last time. I hope that one day you will overcome it too. Mm. Mm. Well, what does that mean? Next day, 8 a.m. Time matters again. Well, good morning, Hugo. You're bright and early. Morning. With much fervor and haste, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad. Although by much closer inspection, it looks like he's going to combust any minute. Are you writing up the report? Without looking up, Hugo responds back. Yeah, for the most part. You still need to write yours too. I will. But since I haven't had breakfast yet, and I don't like eating by myself, let me guess. 2 is better than 1. Bingo! Hi, Hugo, you're really catching on. So proud of you. Shut up, will you? I swear, if only I hadn't fallen off the goddamn window, my report would have been shorter. Before Nora can cut the beginning, he pauses at the mention of Hugo's report. Oh yeah, by the way, mind telling me what happened to the Mortimer's window? I broke it. Well, that's obvious to me. What I don't understand is, why is it broken? Do you know how much it costs to repair a window like that? I know, it's really dumb of me. I'm sorry. Besides, I told Mr. Mortimer about it before we left. Honestly, I was expecting an earful from him. And also the bill. And, surprisingly enough, he said it was okay. Lucky us, right? So what? You just called it a day after all that? Thank you so much, Mr. Mortimer. You broken it and you pay for it. Would you chill? Of course I'll pay for it. But each time I keep insisting, he just shrugged it off. That it was already went through a lot for them, so it was nothing in comparison. Ugh. You know what? He's right. After all we went through, we deserve at least a nap. But before he could walk away, he stops and sees a familiar person walking towards the storefront, carrying something with her. Good morning, you two. Just barely a foot from the storefront, a certain bloodhound stirs up from the resting spot and makes his way towards. I said don't push on those. Towards Nina. From his resting spot and makes his way towards Nina, tail uncontrollably wagging. Good morning to you too, Colby. Nina scratches behind one of Colby's ears, making his right foot uncontrollably move on its own. Scratching an invisible but desperately desirable spot for him. Good morning, Miss Nina. Good morning. What brings you here around this time? Is everything alright with your father? My voice switched there. Yes, he's doing well, actually. Even better than before. We talked so much last night, I hardly slept at all. So they didn't have to change my sprite. But honestly, it's been a while since I spoke to him so freely like this that I hardly felt tired at all. That's wonderful to hear. But there's something else I wanted to talk to you both for. To put it bluntly, I need your help. If you two aren't busy, I'd like to come some company eating these. Inside a clear plastic bag are a stack of 2 boxes placed on top of each other. Cat, I need that. I need my mouse. No. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. She opens the box on top and reveals a couple of neatly decorated donuts all lined perfectly. No cramped or squished spaced ones. An arc of art in Hugo's eyes. Whoa, so pretty. Donuts? They look so delicious. Wow, more than happy to eat those with you, Nina. Haha. Here goes with the donuts. Oh, but yes, please join us, Miss Nina. We were about to have our breakfast too. Weren't we, Kuya? Always so brazen in front of others. You do make it exceptionally easy for me. Ugh. You both have great chemistry with each other. On second thought, I'm way too tired for this. I'm going to apologize in advance for this, Nina. But truthfully, I'm running on last night's coffee and I'm about to pass out any minute now. Oh, no worries. Honestly, I think a little break sounds like whatever we need right now. That wasn't the sentence. Thanks. Hugo puts down his pen and proceeds to head for the couch. Kobe follows after him. Would you like to join us, Miss Nina? I would love to. I guess we save these for later then. Yes, please do. That was Hugo. Now come on, it's nap time. Noah sighs heavily before setting his food down on the desk. He then gestures Nina towards the sofa, which she happily takes, and he offers to join them. Are they all going to nap on the couch? I guess so. Ugh, I'm getting old. I mean, you are old. Shut it. And this is really nice. Oh, good boy, Colby. Come here. He quietly coos at him, begins to scratch behind at the back of Colby's ears once more. Hugo leans a little closer to Noah, his noise above a whisper, but close enough for Noah to only hear him. You know, I'm glad you came along yesterday. Oh, what's this? Are you eating chummy with me now? Calling it chummy or whatever, but I really mean it. He hadn't saved us back there. Look, I told you before. I'll be there whenever you get yourself into reckless shit. Besides, didn't you say this was nap time? Get some rest, you deserve it. You too. Calming silence fills the room as they bask into the morning glow. No big parties or celebrations. Just each other's company and sharing this small reward. Small and warmth of comfort. That wasn't the sentence either. Good in! Yay! Is that the cannon in? Did I do good? Did I do it? I don't know if I did it. See if you can do it. Yay! Kiki out. Bye!